Hello everyone, I hope you're doing good and I hope you're in good health. I have both of my motorcycles sitting out here and I'm going to talk about Harley Davidson, America versus Honda, the Japanese imports. There is something about riding a Harley Davidson, the sound that it makes. It just screams freedom going down the highway, the wind blowing in your hair. It's nice. And there's something about riding a Honda, it's just so smooth, so comfortable. It's just like style. The Harley Davidson, meanwhile, I got wind blowing in my face and bugs hitting me in the teeth and shaking my brains out, but it's awesome. Most of the Honda guys that I meet, they're cool with Harley. They're like, yeah, it's, you know, Harleys are nice. And then Harley guys, a lot of them that I meet are really cool. They love all motorcycles. They don't care. They'll ride with a guy on an adventure bike. But I have met Harley guys that will not wave at you. They will not ride with you. They won't even look at you. If they had it their way, they would beat this thing to death with a sledgehammer. They still have Honda bashes to this day. You can look them up. And I've heard stories from friends of my father. My dad, he was a blue-blooded American. He served in Vietnam, or during Vietnam in Alaska. He grew up, and the generation before him just went to war with World War II. And all those soldiers went overseas. Harley Davidson had the contract. They drank Coca-Cola. They smoked Lucky Strike cigarettes. They drove Jeeps. What do you think they bought when they came home? For like my dad, when he was in Alaska, they're out there, they drove Jeeps all over the place. When he came home, he bought a Jeep. He bought Harley Davidsons. Drank Budweiser. America. My dad was not a fan. He calls these rice burners. He warned me when I was growing up. He said, if you ever get one of them rice burners and come down here, I'm gonna fill that thing full of bullet holes. I never took one to his house. I take that back. I did one time. It was right after I wrecked it. And I was sitting there crying. I had a Kawasaki ZRX 1100. And I rode it back to his house. And I was sitting there crying because I wrecked near his house. I've been in a few motorcycle wrecks. Some people have said that I have 9 lives. I think I'm just really dumb. I rode that Kawasaki back to my dad's house. Handlebars are bent, forks twisted, gas tank smashed in. My dad and my brother were sitting there and I was crying because I worked so hard. I was 18 years old. Give me a break. I worked hard for that Kawasaki. And I was sitting there, I was crying. And I was like, I worked so hard on this motorcycle. I worked all these hours at work. I saved up my money and now it's destroyed. And my dad came over to me and I was crying. And he put his hand on my shoulders and he comforted me. He said, get rid of that piece of shit and get you a real bike. Get a Harley. And I was like, okay, Dad, I will. Well, it wasn't too long after that my dad passed away. And unfortunately, he did not get to see me because it was one of those things, he would have been so proud of me, but I bought a Sportster. And I wish my dad could have seen it. But that whole time, from I was 18 years old, had my license and everything, up until my mid-20s, I only rode street bikes. I only had Hondas and Kawasaki's. My dad never got to see me ride a Harley. I wish he could see this one. I think he would be, I don't know, he might say it's a little too blinged out for him, but I think he'd be proud of me. And I talk about him in every video, and I apologize about that. It's just when I'm around Harley Davidson, that's who I think of, so I apologize. But needless to say, the reason I'm bringing that up is because people like my father who served overseas or served in the military, they have that America first, buy American, Harley Davidson, Ford, Chevrolet, Coca-Cola, Marlboro Lights, etc., etc., etc. They hate these motorcycles, hate them. I heard stories of Harley guys when they come across a group of Hondas. This is back in like the 60s and 70s, guys, right? They were crazy. But there'd be a group of Hondas pulled off on the side of the road. They would get your helmet and throw it down over the hill. They'd piss on your seat. They'd cut your tires. They'd You know, they did dirty stuff. These guys back in the day really hated these motorcycles coming over here from Japan. So I get crap today, right? It's 2022. I got a Honda Goldwing, and I get crap today from guys who ride Harley because I'm riding a Honda. So I wanted to make a video and tell you a little something, and then we're gonna go for a test ride. This motorcycle, a 1994 Honda Goldwing. She's made in America. Sorry. All y'all who've been crapping on them, made in America. Made in Marysville, Ohio in 1994. The only difference between this motorcycle and this motorcycle, this company's headquarters is in Japan. This is America. I can pop the hoods, I can pull the panels, I can show you all the stuff. This thing has made in USA stamped all over it. My buddy at work has a 98 Honda Shadow, and on the back of the seat it says made in USA. Somebody walked up and said, "That's false advertisement, isn't it?" And he goes, "Nope, made in America." Yeah, they're different, but at the end of the day, are we really that different? Both of these bikes have two wheels. Both of them have a motor, and both of them can go out and see beautiful views and take you on adventures and make memories. Why would you talk crap about somebody who's doing that? So to each their own. I don't judge you if you like to only buy Harley Davidson. All I can say is that you're missing out, because BMW makes some really nice adventure bikes. KTM, Honda makes some awesome, like the Shadows, that's a proven motorcycle. Honda Rebel 250, how many people has that got on the road to where eventually they can learn how to ride a Harley? So what I'm trying to say is, try not to invest your ego too much into materialistic things. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you, I got this motorcycle and I've set it up for the looks. I want to look cool. I want to look, you know, but I try not to let this make me. I made the motorcycle. The motorcycle doesn't make me. Somebody write that down. Help me remember that. That was a good quote. I made the motorcycle. The motorcycle doesn't make me. I like it. This motorcycle right here, this thing's awesome. People crapping on, you can get these bikes. It's an old, they call these the King Wings, because some people think that the Goldwing 1500 is the best Goldwing that Honda ever made. I don't know, because I've never rode a 1800. That's why I want to, next thing I want to do is ride a 1800, because I love this bike. This thing's fun. I'm going to get my helmet on. I'm going to go for just a quick ride and tell you the differences. All right, what perfect timing to start with the Goldwing, because it's starting to sprinkle right now. So I had to get my baby over there. You can obviously tell that I have a sweet spot for the Harley. And I will, that's the awesome thing about the Goldwing. It is reliable. I will take this thing anywhere at the moment. I mean, we got to do a little bit of work to it. Need to do the timing belt and a couple other things. But for the time being, this is the perfect motorcycle for me. If it starts raining, I'll go on the Goldwing. I ain't worried about getting it dirty. I ain't, you know, I'm going to take care of it. I'm not going to abuse it, but I'm going to ride it. Got to put our choke on. 1994, she is carbureted. All right, here we go on the Goldwing. Alright, couple things that I like about this bike. This thing is so smooth, so comfortable, and it's almost 30 years old. Can't beat them. I love it. I love it. Yeah, sure, I look like a goofball. Sure, people say I don't look like the person that would be on a Goldwing. I don't care. I do what I want to do, and I love it, man. So I'll talk about a couple of the features that I love about this. Right now, while I'm riding down the highway and I want to talk, let's set the cruise, and I can sit here and talk to you and take in these views, and I can sit here and chit chat. So cruise control, Next thing, radio. I have 4 speakers on here. Plenty loud enough for me. Next is the fact it has air suspension. So I can stiffen and loosen the suspension on this motorcycle accordingly. If I'm riding by myself, I can loosen it up a little bit. If I'm riding if I have a passenger on here, I can stiffen it up. Next, it has reverse. We have a lever down here. This is a big bike, guys. And if you're parked on a hill or something, this is not going to be an easy motorcycle to move. All right, we got more rain coming in. This is not going to be an easy motorcycle to move. But like right now, it's raining. I don't feel any of that. It's just, it's hitting the top of my windshield a little bit, or my visor on my helmet. But as far as my chest and legs and stuff, just tuck in here and you're good. So we'll get it turned around right here. I'll show y'all what I'm talking about. Let's say I'm on a hill that's a little steep. I just throw this bad boy into reverse and then hit your, oh yeah, ain't got to use my legs. And then when I'm ready to go, put it back in drive. And check this out. All right, we're creeping at 25 mile an hour. 35. Here it goes. Whoa! Oh my gosh! They're so fast! It's a freaking 6-cylinder. A 1500 6-cylinder. They will boogie. But also, if you just want to kick back and just cruise, you can do that too. So like right now, I'm all laid back. I'm in overdrive, aka 5th gear. Just cruising, man. Throw my legs up, cut on the radio. And y'all seen the passenger seat. The passenger seat is a freaking sofa. And that's why you see, a lot of times when you see these Goldwings, look at the license plate. A lot of times when you see a Goldwing, you'll see Texas, Florida, New York. Hell, I've seen Canada. I mean, like we live here in Virginia, it's rare to see cars from other states. But when it's not weird to see a Goldwing out of state. It's actually almost expected. Oh yeah. If it's hot, cut on my air conditioning. I'm just kidding, it's not air conditioning. It's just the air coming through. You can open and close them to let air come in. You got some up here. But here's the cool thing. I can ride this bike during the cold. Flip it to heat. This bike has a radiator. It's liquid cooled. So the heat off of the engine, you flip it to heat and it'll blow hot air on your legs. There's so much that I love about this 30-year-old motorcycle. There's so much I love. But one of the things I can say that I don't like, and I've seen Goldwing riders, they complain about it. They actually put vents on here to deflect more airflow behind. And they're right when they say it. These things are hot. You got a big motor, big 6-cylinder motor, and it's putting out a lot of heat, and it's completely enclosed with fairings and all that. The only place for that heat to go is into your legs and your feet and all that. And it gets hot on here, man. You ride this thing in about 95 degrees, you're cooking. You throw a full face helmet on, you are really cooking. And I always thought it was funny when I seen guys riding Goldwings with shorts and tennis shoes, but now it kind of makes sense. They're burning up from that big ass motor cooking them. But I tell you, man, for the price, you can't beat it. Nimble, oh my gosh. This thing handles like a sport bike. They call them touring bikes, but I'm like, man, it's a sport bike. They are so nimble. It does not feel like you're riding a 900-pound motorcycle. All right, so now get out the Harley. First thing I like about the bike is the sound. Definitely not built for comfort. Everything that the Harley touring bikes have going for them, I took it all away with just putting these handlebars on. Because you are sitting way back and you're leaning way forward. And the seat's just not set up. So let's take it for a spin and talk about it. And with this one, you gotta put the you gotta have your helmet on tight and secure. There's no windshield. You could have a windshield on here. And if I was gonna ride this bike long distance, I would definitely have a windshield on it. But the way I have it set up right now is just wind in your face and just enjoying the ride. So the things I like about my Harley is, first off, I just like the looks. I mean, that's what it's all about to me, is just the looks. I like the style, I like the chrome, I like the vivid black paint, even though it's played out. And that's what everybody has, is the vivid black. I know it's like, oh, all right, another vivid black motorcycle, but I like it. Black and chrome looks good together. The thing I like about this bike is that there's nothing fancy. It's like, this is old school. I mean, it's fuel injected, so it's not that old school, but it's as old school as modern technology has to offer. It's an 88 twin cam, and it is just bare bones. There's nothing fancy about this, and I take that back. It does have cruise control, which is actually really nice. Here, I'll show you why. So we're cruising down the road, throw on cruise control, and then you can take your right hand off the throttle. And if you go on long distance trips, it is very nice. But other than cruise control, it's just you and the motorcycle. That's it. I mean, there are no fancy bells and whistles. There's no radios. There's no walkie-talkies. There's no GPS. There's no navigation. Just you and the motorcycle. And that's what I love about this bike, because when I get on this one, now that I have the Goldwing, I have all the bells and whistles on the Goldwing. If I want to listen to the radio, if I want to have the wind blocked, if I want to, you know, go on a long distance ride, I'll go on the Goldwing. But if I just want to get out and become one with the motorcycle, this is it. Like, I feel so connected to this motorcycle. Like, I really trust my life with this bike and trust everything about it. Like, when I sit on this motorcycle, I feel like these wheels and tires, I feel like this motor, I feel like it's a part of me. I don't know how to explain that. That's how I feel when I sit on this Harley. I feel like we become one, and it just does what I tell it to do. Let's see what the speed does. All right, so we're going 25 mile an hour, just like the Goldwing. Actually, we're going 30. Second gear. Here we go. I mean, it's no slouch, but it's not a powerhouse. Now, don't let that be a representation. You know, the Goldwing will eat this bike alive. But Harley's got that Milwaukee 8 out now, and they got a 131 stage 4 kit, all that. But this bike is just plain Jane, 5 gears, nothing fancy about it. It does have saddlebags, so that, I mean, that's nice. But other than that, this bike is just getting out and enjoying the ride, and I love it. So if you're wanting something like this, I recommend like the Heritage. The Heritage is a great motorcycle. The RoadKing's a good motorcycle. They're very similar. Like, the Heritage is just like the baby brother of the RoadKing. They're both simple, just good motorcycles. The Heritage will be faster than this because it's lighter, but it doesn't, I mean, In all reality, any Harley that you want, just get it, man. They're good motorcycles. And these old RoadKings, I've seen them. This one's got 24,000 miles on it. That's nothing. That is nothing. I see old RoadKings with 125,000 miles on them all day. The thing with these 88 twin cams, they have a cam chain tensioner, and for some reason Harley thought it was a good idea to put plastic cam chain tensioners on this motor. It's a little piece of plastic holding metal together, holding the chain to the cams, and when that piece of plastic breaks, metal touches metal and it just flies apart. I mean, it'll tear up everything inside of your motor if you don't get that cam chain tensioner replaced or get a new one, whatever. I love it. I love the sound, man. Nothing beats it. No, and that's a fact. Nothing beats the sound of a Harley. That's just a little rundown. It's almost like a little show and tell of the Goldwing and the Harley, and you're going to see more videos of both of these bikes. But thanks for watching the video, guys. No matter what motorcycle you pick, no matter which motorcycle you choose, one of my friends, his wife just got a Suzuki SV650. Great motorcycles. I actually used to want one of those so bad. I never pulled the trigger, but they're great motorcycles. So get yourself a motorcycle, guys. Thanks for watching this video. Take care, and I'll see you next time.